Tuache kutumia akili kama token. Let me give an example. President William Ruto, if you are in a service or in a church or an event, and the purpose of that event was prayers for your country, I don't think you would be at ease when someone stormed in and took your seat forcefully. We need to put politics aside when we are in prayer. I'm very sure the God you pray to, Mr. President, is not a God of indecency and sirens and noises. What MAINA and NJENGA did is shameful. And for the people who think they're sane enough to write in my DMs that MAINA and NJENGA did not do anything wrong, shame on you. And MAINA and NJENGA, shame on you too for picking a fight with a woman who walked somewhere to conduct prayers. What is wrong with you? Nini mbaya na wewe? Go pick fights with men of your caliber. Men who think as low as you do. You don't, hata kwa in Agikuyu, you don't do such things. Ulizaliwa wapi?
Na kuchukua watu kusema hii ni Mungiki. We are going to do an operation ile inaitwa intelligence led, and we have their names and we are going to deal with them. So if you are in that group, wachana na hiyo ujinga, enda fanya kazi nyingine. And we have also those one or two politicians who think they are very clever, kumisusu watoto ya watu, and he wants to get away with it. We will do proper investigation. Tukiling wewe na moja, haki ya Mungu tasimama kotini hata kama wewe ni nani. We are not going to accept that.
Kuna kwamba ilimbidi mkewe wa aliyekuwa naibu rais Dorcas Rigathi kuondoka katika hafla ya maombi iliyokuwa imeandaliwa ugani Kamukunji katika kaunti ya Nyeri baada ya wanasiasa MAINA na NJENGA kuingia mkutanoni humo kwa kishindo.
Na Dorcas ambaye alitumia upande wa nyuma wa hema waliokuwa wageni mashuhuri aliondoka na wengineo waliofika akiwemo naibu gavana wa Nyeri David Waroe, huku NJENGA akichukua nafasi jukwani alipokuwa amekaa mkewe GACHAGUA. Na
ilikuwa ni safari ya pili NJENGA kufika Nyeri chini ya majuma matatu.
Mwanasiasa huyu ambaye ametazamwa kama kibaraka wa serikali kuzima umaarufu aliojizolea aliyekuwa naibu rais Rigathi Gachagua amemtaka naibu rais huyo wa pili kukoma siasa za kimaeneo na kujumuika na viongozi wa kitaifa kueneza umoja miongoni mwa Wakenya.
Watu wa kusema ati Mount Kenya kila wakati. Mount Kenya ni mwanzo, lakini Kenya ni yetu sisi zote. Ama aje? Yes. Kwa sababu tukiongea maneno ya Mount Kenya kila wakati, itabidi tuende mikoa mingine, tuende Mombasa, tuende Kisumu, tuombee baba, tuombee Ruto, tuombee hata aliyekuwa, wote tuombee.
The removal of Mr. Rigathi Gachagua is not the removal of Mount Kenya region. Mount Kenya region will remain firm and steadfast, and we are not going to move even 1 inch. 47% of our people voted for this government. That is why Dr. William Samoei Arap Ruto is president now and the commander-in-chief of the armed forces. And it is very good of us to be in government and not to be fighting from outside. If there is any fight that we are going to fight, we are going to fight from inside.
2006, 2007, 2008, vijana walijiunga kundi haramu. Kiongozi yao akawatuma for forceful circumcision of our women. Wakanajisi watoto wa kike. Wakaweka kodi kwa hardware. Wakaweka kodi kwa stage. Wakaanza kufanya tax collection in Kenya. Ikaenea, nobody could sleep. Ukisema ngwe, wanasema tutakuwa kuja kuchukua kichwa yako. Kweli ama uongo? And it caused fear, especially in this region and Rift Valley. And it took one John Mechoke to say, no, that cannot happen. This is a country of the rule of law. Now vijana mambo yao ikafika mwisho. An attempt is being made now to revive that criminal gang. Na hapo 2 months ago walikuwa wameanza kwenda kwa stage kuchukua pesa, kwenda kwa hardware kuchukua pesa, kwanza kuandamana na wamama. Mnataka tuwakubalie? It cannot happen. And so I don't want our leaders to be intimidated. Now watu ni watu wachache. Na hakuna vijana ati wanachokota pesa wakatumie, wanapelekea huyo kiongozi yao 90%. Yeye anajenga manyumba everywhere in the country. Anatumia vijana vibaya. Ile sisi tunapinga ni kutumia vijana kutoka hapa to engage them in crime. We have a responsibility to protect our young people from being misused by anybody to engage in criminal activities.
For the last 7 months, the Gen Zs and the millennials have started a revolution. They have maintained it, they have sustained it in their own ways and capacity without the help of politicians or the elites. But nevertheless, we want to welcome you, Uhuru Kenyatta, on board on the movement, and this is how you can help us in the movement. Do you want to know how we feel when we go out there and we risk our life with this government? And for the longest time, Mr. Uhuru, we have been saying we boycott taxes. And because you're one of the greatest business owners in this country, can you help us at your elite level to mobilize your fellow elites not to pay taxes to William Ruto? Can you mobilize the elite? Can you ask NJENGA to mobilize the children of the elite and ask their fathers and mothers and business owners not to pay taxes to this government, because those taxes are going into the wrong hands and we are only empowering gangs of thieves in this government. This is how this revolution works, Mr. Uhuru Kenyatta and the rest of the elites. The tier 1 of the struggle of this movement is the Gen Zs, the millennials, and the youth of this country who have given up their lives and blood for this country and put their risk. Then tier 2, and our interests are not the politicians or the elites' interest. Our interest is now. These young people can't marry, they can't give their hand into marriage, they can't get babies because the future, because the now has been stolen. Don't talk about the future. People are not eating 3 meals in this country, so we are fighting for our now, not even the future. Tier 2, nayo inaitwa the politicians who are bitter with William Ruto for betrayal or for anything. Those are tier 2. Those one, their interest is fighting for power. They might not be fighting for us, but they are fighting for their power. And you elites, you have your interest. Maybe you're closing down your businesses, but mobilize yourselves and not pay taxes. You are the tier 3 in this struggle. You don't come second and you don't come first. So we are the first, then the politicians, number 2 over GACHAGUA and the rest, and you, the elite, you're number 3. But anyway, the enemy of your enemy is your friend, but a friend to your enemy is your enemy. So piganieni kile kenye mnapigania, but msitulete watoto wenyu wakuwe heroes wetu ati watuongoza in future. No, we got this. We will fight to the bitter end, because in God we trust and we believe that God is going to give us back our country. We shall fix this country for everybody. You politicians, you had your chance. You, the elite, you had your chance. You just empowered and enriched yourselves. So with the tier 1s, you know, the Gen Zs and the millennials and everyone who is fighting for this country like us, we are fighting for the common good of everybody in this country. So remember, it's in that order. We are the tier 1. The politicians who are fighting for power, they are the tier 2. And the elites are the tier 3. That's how we use them. Round here, game imebadilika. It's that simple.